Every normal down in Normalville loved Christmas a lot, but Dylan Guptill, who lived in New Hampshire, did not. Christmas was something Guptill came to hate. The reason why is something I could only speculate. It could be that his balls were squeezed too tight. It could be that his brain wasn't screwed on right. In my mind, the most likely reason of them all may have been that his brain was 5 sizes too small. But whatever the reason, he just hated the holidays. He hated the decorations and the flashy neon displays. Every normal he met in town, he hated them. Christmas was just something he wanted to condemn. He hated the sounds of Christmas joy that entered his cave. He stood there, anchored, and looked at Rouge, his sex slave.
Look at them all! They reduced themselves to mass commercialization! All this new technology is removing physical socialization! Christmas is approaching, he told his bitch. Now Rouge, go to the kitchen and make me a manwich!
And the more Guptill thought of his Christmas stress, the more he fought.
I must stop this whole dang mess! Why, for 23 years I've put it up with it now! I must find a way to stop Christmas from coming! But how?
Then he got a thought. A dark thought. Guptill had a dreadfully dark thought.
I know what to do! Guptill laughed in his throat. I'll make a Santa Claus hat and a coat!
Then he giggled and chuckled.
What a great smuggy trick! With this coat and this hat, I'll look just like Saint Nick. I'll steal their technology and every single gift! In order to succeed, we have to be swift. They'll wake up next morning, they'll be in tears. For once, I'll be happy after all these years. These gizmos and gadgets are things I'll overthrow. With technology gone, the world will grow.
You're so picky, Mr. Dylan. You really are a tick. You're as sexy as Chris Chan. You really make us sick, Mr. Dylan. You're a tall man with a 1.5-inch dick. You're a bastard, Mr. Dylan. Your stupidity is so big. Your IQ is under 50. You are dumber than a pig, Mr. Dylan. You're an ugly baboon with a greasy blonde wig. You're a smug one, Mr. Dylan. You're the biggest, greatest brat. You were stuck in 1990, you would want to fuck a bat, Mr. Dylan. Given the choice between the two of you, I take the, big sexy titted bat. You disgust me, Mr. Dylan. You would fuck some big backpacks. Your friends email you stuff and you reply with the facts, Mr. Dylan. You'd replace all DVD and Blu-ray players with a Betamax. You're a pervert, Mr. Dylan. You're a giant hypocrite. In the videos you submit, you're throwing a hissy fit, Mr. Dylan. Your turd is an appalling crapshoot, overflowing with the most disgraceful assortment of deplorable ball dung imaginable. Mangled up and tangled up shit. You oppose things, Mr. Dillon. You hate Kindles and Twitter. You hate the social media like Facebook and Tumblr, Mr. Dillon. The 3 words that best describe you are as follows, and I quote, nitpicker.
It was almost dawn. Guptill had finished his work. The massive jerk went up the hill with an evil smirk. On the south side of Mount Humping, the sleigh was ready for dumping. All the bags were filled with stolen goods. He waited for the surprise in the neighborhoods.
Those poor normals!
He laughed loudly.
They'll wake up with a shock, he said proudly. They will find out that Christmas isn't coming. They will cry as I dump the sleigh while humming. Now that's a noise I must hear.
Guptill paused, and he placed a hand to his ear. He tried to listen in as he held a snigger.
Everyone down there must feel like a dumb old digger.
And he did hear a sound. It started quite low, but after a while, it began to grow. Every normal came out of their houses in the rush. They all stood in the center and sung in the slush. The sound didn't sound sappy. In fact, it was quite happy. Guptill hadn't stopped Christmas from coming. It came. Despite all his efforts, it came just the same. Guptill, with his feet ice cold in the snow, stood puzzling and puzzling as he grabbed his hoe.
It came without Linux. It came without Macs. It came without PCs, iPad, and audio jacks.
He puzzled and puzzled till his brain was sore. Then he thought of something he hadn't before. Maybe new technology means a little bit more. Guptill then let go of his little whore.
I now know the truth. Technology isn't bad. It's pure evil! People are eager to have them, and that's sad! If I go back and give them all their presents, they'll go back to their old ways! Those dang peasants!
And with that, Guptill dumped the sleigh off the mountain. The normals saw everything as they all stood by the fountain.
Who the fuck did this?
Said Mayor Mill. The normals looked up and saw Guptill up the hill.
Who is that up there?
Throw some Cody! Some Polly?
Cheese and macaroni!
The normals knew that it wasn't the time to sob. With their pitchforks and torches, they formed a lynch mob. Guptill stood there watching the upcoming strife. He turned around and he ran for his life. Guptill learning a lesson? That's a big lie. He'll never change his ways, and that's why. Well, folks, this project was a pain to write. Happy holidays, everyone, and I bid you all good night.
fries and macaroni!
God, that's embarrassing saying that out loud.
Oh, look! It's a Mario's Export Express.